I'm Chae, and I run Fisheye Farms with my wife Amy, and we're a 2-acre vegetable farm in downtown Detroit. We started as a wholesaling farm. There was a restaurant in our neighborhood we started in called Craftwork, and when we were planting the farm and getting it built, we went and introduced ourselves, and we started a wholesale relationship with that restaurant, and we just kind of built it from there. So we kind of fell into the wholesale market and just kind of kept growing it via word of mouth. One of the biggest benefits to having a wholesale market is the ease of sales and packaging. One thing we really don't like doing for our other markets is, individual packaging on things like beets and radish and especially salad greens, where we're using a lot of plastic bags and other material that we'd just rather not use. So it's really important to have good communication and a close relationship with the wholesaler or the wholesale buyer that you're working with. So I look for people that I just naturally mesh well with, and that makes ordering easy and as painless as possible for both sides. The big thing is containers and how you're going to deliver that stuff and keep and how much do you want to clean it and set that expectation for the chefs. If they know that they're going to get a dirty product, make sure they need to know. But if they think it's going to be clean, then you want to clean it. So just setting up these kind of the logistics of it, I think, is important. Google form, and we've gone as low tech as just text messaging a list on Sunday or Monday and just saying this is what we got, and either way works. It really just depends on what is easiest for you and your chefs. You have to take in a number of considerations, and you can't just always be basing your pricing off of what other people are doing, what the grocery store is doing. It has to be the right price for you. And I feel like a lot of people tend to think that pricing is some kind of set in stone thing, like the USDA sends out a price sheet that all farmers have to follow or something. And it's not like that. It really does work. It's amazing how you can make an Instagram post and then all of a sudden you're going to sell 4 or 5 CSA shares. If you can somehow balance that, keeping it fun and organic while also making it an advertising space or a marketing space, more power to you, but it's difficult.
My name's Jeff Hatfield. The name of our farm is Seeds and Spores Family Farm in Marquette, Michigan. I run the farm with my family and a whole bunch of other farmers that help us out seasonally. Been growing stuff, started real small about 25 years ago and just slowly built the business over that time. I think it's important to have multiple outlets because there are times you're just going to have surplus of some item will do well, or maybe you overplanted, or maybe you were just conservative to make sure you had enough for your CSA. And so to have an easy spillover marketing channel just really rounds out the numbers. Usually they are purchasing it because it sets them apart a little bit, whether it's a local product or whether it's an organic product. A hard thing to find around here, especially in a restaurant, is organic protein. We've had a few chefs who are really committed to the farm-to-table idea, and we bend over backwards to make it work. It's got to be a realistic price point on the shelf to make the product move, and that's what we wanted to do. So they were getting a much fresher product that would last longer on their shelf. So even though it might seem more expensive, it probably penciled out just the same because they didn't throw as much away due to freshness.
The price is so variable from market to wholesale to retail, and sometimes it's not cut and dry. Like I said, we will get higher prices for particular crops from wholesale than we will for market. We were really thoughtful and calculated in determining what we would try to sell if we wanted to go to the true wholesale to a food distributor and or grocery store. And I think that's the only way to make a small farm work with a large customer, is making sure you're choosing the crops. We have to be doing things that you can't find in the market. You know, rarer herbs, rarer greens, not necessarily finicky stuff. Things that are still easy to produce in our climate, but that aren't readily available on a larger wholesale market. Yeah, I think the main reason was really being tired of dedicating weekends to farmers markets. Every moment I was at market, I was not getting work done that needed to be done for production. I think the next motivator was that chefs, especially if you can find interesting accounts, are often more creative than home cooks. And so they are demanding a more interesting crop. And we have always been intrigued by the curiosity of food and growing rarer things, investigating food and history and how that relates with how we grow today. And that relationship, I believe, is easier to have with a chef.
I'm Nick VanCourt, co-founder, president, and head brewer of Barrel and Beam, where we are right now. So really for us, it started with, we knew that right off the bat, having a niche product and a little bit higher price product, that we really couldn't just rely on all the business walking in the door here and just doing business locally. So we knew we had to get our product further out there in the market. We really can't expect to just sell it all here on site. It's about relationships, it's about knowing people, and it's about people knowing other people, and it's about the word spreading. So there is a disconnect when we sell to the wholesaler downstate who goes out and distributes for us, because we're not there making a relationship, and we're relying on their relationship. What we look for is suppliers that will work with you if there's a problem. What I really want is somebody that I can buy from every year, and that knows I'm gonna, and that doesn't hit me with the hard price increase because they know I'm a repeat customer or anything like that, to show that they appreciate the business. Because I feel like that's what we do on our end, is make sure people know that we appreciate the business. It really matters to us that stuff is packaged well, because there's nothing worse than a perfect product being ruined by the bag ripping or whatever it might be. Like when they're filling the bags with frozen fruit, they got to make sure that they don't rip the bag. So I think that attention to detail. So I would say for the producers, I would look to making sure that your packaging is strong enough for what you're doing. The first time I made a Michigan sourced beer was a long time ago, in like 2014 maybe. My thought then was, this is great and fun, because I do love, because being somebody that was raised on a farm, being somebody that really appreciates agriculture, likes this type of beer, obviously, it was like, I really want to do this, but there's no way you could do this exclusively, because there's just not enough of the products. But the reality is now, honestly, for our small brewery, we wouldn't have to get any malt or hops from anywhere but Michigan. The suppliers are really eager and ready to grow with you. That's what we've found. It's like, what else would you want? What else can we do? And or like talking through what kind of substitutions might happen if they make a change, versus just saying, oh, you can't get that anymore. Good local suppliers that are your friend will tell you that problem is going to come, and that's huge.